Today we have all the major updates of mixed martial arts, starting with the news Derek Lewis exposes himself after knockout win. First, take a look at this clip. Recently, Derek Lewis added a big win to his record by defeating Rodrigo Nascimento. Now, I'm not entirely sure, but the way Derek has acted makes it seem like he's 100% an LGBTQ member. However, we should respect every individual. Now let's move on. Conor McGregor is in big trouble after a $30 million penalty from an Irish court. McGregor's in a real bind after getting tangled up in a mess with his buddies. Now the court's dishing out a hefty fine of about $30 million with jail time looming if he doesn't pay up. So, why'd things go south? Let's dig into the details. As most of you may know, Conor McGregor runs his own whiskey brand called Proper 12. Recently, he's caught up in some legal mess. The Ireland's High Court has ordered McGregor to reveal the actual sales figures for his whiskey company. This order is related to his ongoing legal dispute with his former partner, Artem Lobov. And this isn't the first time this has happened. There's been a bit of drama with whiskey brand before. See, Lobov took McGregor to court saying he was promised a 5% share of the brand deal. With Proper 12 Irish Apple raking in big bucks, Lobov claimed he didn't see any of the profits from the $600 million brand. McGregor supposedly offered him $1 million instead. According to the Irish Sun newspaper, the deputy master of the Dublin High Court ordered McGregor to spill the beans on his earnings by Friday, May 10th. If the ruling goes Lobov's way, he could pocket 5% of the alleged $600 million windfall. This means McGregor could be looking at a whopping $30 million hit. And this could also have an impact on the upcoming UFC 303 main event if Conor McGregor doesn't comply with the court's order. Another fighter suffered a serious injury at the UFC St. Louis event. Before we dive into this, I'd like to share that we're very close to reaching 600 subscribers. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so and hit the bell icon to receive notifications for MMA updates. Now let's move on. UFC St. Louis saw some of the most brutal injuries in recent times. After Mateusz Rebecki, Vyacheslav Borshov suffered a deep injury to the head. Lightweight Vyacheslav clashed with opponent Chase Hooper in the featured bout of the prelims. Russian lost the fight via submission and in what could be a devastating defeat. During the fight, Hooper maintained dominance, controlling the majority of the match. As the fight progressed, Vyacheslav sustained a significant bump on his forehead, with blood gushing from his face, resulting in rather graphic visuals. Looking at the severity of the injury sustained on his head, it's difficult to say whether he'll be able to continue fighting normally or return to the world of fighting because we all know head injury is a serious case. Aljamain Sterling also reacted to this by saying, "It wasn't looking good." What are your thoughts on this? Let us know by commenting below. MMA fans troll Michael Chandler after he touts $20 million plus gate for Conor McGregor fight. This past weekend was nothing short of historic, with not one but two major announcements shaking up the MMA world. First up, the electrifying UFC Fight Night in St. Louis, where fans packed the Enterprise Center, setting a new record for the biggest gate ever seen at a non-pay-per-view event. On the other hand, according to Dana White, the gate for UFC 303 has surpassed $20 million. Because of this, Michael Chandler, buzzing with excitement, recently took to social media to share his thrill over the incredible turnout for his upcoming main event fight card. As he posted about the record-breaking gate, fans flooded the comments section, reminding him that he's not the main character in the spotlight for this highly anticipated event. One fan said, "You're only getting $250K of that." Another fan wrote, "And you added exactly $0. Shut it, lil bro, no one paid to watch you. We want to see Conor and that's it. Thanks to Conor." Chandler, you are not even getting $1 for it. You get your purse plus pay-per-view. There is no percentage on the gate. You should have negotiated better. It has nothing to do with you, sir. You're a passenger on Conor's yacht. Literally nothing to do with you. Colby Covington explains why Ian Garry fight will never happen. When considering Covington's next potential opponent, one name immediately comes to mind given recent events. Covington has been engaging in a heated exchange with Ian Garry since UFC 296 last December. Despite Garry's absence from the main card due to illness, Covington suffered a defeat in the main event against Leon Edwards. Despite Garry's persistent calls for a fight, Covington remains adamant about his 3 demands for them to step into the octagon together. In a recent interview with Submission Radio, Covington once again said that he won't fight Garry because he thinks Garry feels entitled to the fight. Listen what Covington actually said.
Guys, you guys know better than anybody, having followed my career, what I've had to go through to get to this point in my career. I literally went to Brazil and I had people that wanted to take my head off with a fork and take my head off with some assault rifles outside the arena because those Brazilian fans were so at what I did to them and the things that I had to do to get to this point. So I've literally risked my life for this company. I've literally went over to Brazil, fought one of the greatest Brazilian fighters of all time in Damian Maia. You know, he's got some of the most finishes in UFC history, completely obliterate him, leave him in a pool of blood, and then, you know, do what I do in the post-fight, you know, like for this business to sell, to sell pay-per-views and to sell tickets to the fight. So, you know, I've had to do so much. All I gave is 3 little stipulations, boy, to Ian. Can you imagine? This kid's a spoiled little fucking entitled brat, and he's trying to act like he calls a shot as an absolute nobody who's never headlined a pay-per-view main event like myself. I've actually headlined pay-per-view main events without even a title on the line. So I've done it 4 titles without a title, you know, this and that. You know, I've only been fighting pay-per-view main events the last 6-7 years of my career. So this little spoiled entitled brat is coming out saying that he's calling the shots. First off, there was never a contract. If there was a contract, show me the contract, kid. Where's the contract? You would, if you're saying these words, you come out and show it to the fan. If there never was a contract. So the thing is when the UFC calls Colby Covington Incorporated, you know, Colby, you know, is able to choose and do what he wants because I've earned my way in this company and I've done good business for this company where I'm allowed to call the shots. So this little kid doesn't call the shots. So I gave him 3 little stipulations. That's all he had to do. Guys, could you imagine? All I told him was turn on the comments. Like, how hard is it to flick a little button up or down? Like, that's not that hard. It's so easy. And then to have his wife, you know, shoot a video, you know, why they deserve this fight. And how hard can that be? She's out here, you know, going on 5-minute rants to other fighters that they're never going to fight and trying to quote Shakespeare like she's smart or something. So, you know, everybody knows that, you know, out of that little gimmick relationship that's going on, that little gimmick sideshow, circus show that's going on, she's the real star of the family. So she wants to be a star. Come out here and say and why you deserve to fight a superstar on myself. So he couldn't do these simple little stipulations, guys. Guys, like I said earlier, I risked my life. I had to get escorted by like high-level fucking Secret Service out of Brazil just to get back to America. Like they put a $50,000 bounty on my head. So, you know, if someone would have told me in the early beginning of my career, Colby, all you have to do to get these big fights and, you know, to get to the next level is just turn on the comments. Like, how hard can that be, guys?